How teachers really do grades. Goal: I can use Schoology tools to get teacher feedback about my mistakes. Before we begin, here are some strategies to help you learn from a video. The first one's most important. Pause the video often. This way you can think about what you heard. Okay, so this is what it looks like when I'm grading papers. First, I would check if I'm using a rubric, what the rubric says, or if I'm using points so I know how I'm evaluating. But more importantly, I'm going to try to give the student feedback so they can fix their mistakes. Then I scroll down to the part of the assignment where there's some student work, and I notice that first of all, right away I see they left this part blank. So I'm going to write a little post-it to the student, and if they go back and see it, they will know why they lost points. This one should be a polar bond because the difference is 1, which is in the polar range. So I continue making notes to help the student see where they can improve and what misunderstandings they have. So then I go back to our rubric and fill it out based on what I saw in this worksheet. So I would give this person 6 out of 9, and they could read here to see why. And then I might want to do a comment to that person, something like this, that's already typed here for you. Missing some answers, and please review the vocabulary of polar bonds. And that comment would show up in the grades, but all of these, they would have to open their submission to see. One more thing I could do is I could do an audio recording here, and I might do that like this and try to teach something to the student that they could check in on later. So we're going to teach you how to look for all of those comments. How does a student see and use the feedback? Hi. So now I'm going to show you how you would access that feedback that I just put on the last assignment as if I'm the student now looking for that. So when you go to Schoology homepage, first, of course, you got to select courses. And then I'm going to start by going to grades. And then you might see a lot of things here, of course. At any place you have a gray box with a message that's important to read. But I'm going to look at this one, 6 out of 9. Maybe I'm wondering, how did I get that score? Did my teacher just make that up? But first, the comment says, missing some answers, and please review the vocabulary of polar bonds. So that gives me a little bit of information right away. But here, this little box is the rubric. And I don't know how many of you have clicked on that to use the rubric, but I hope that you'll start doing that, because when you click that, you'll see where those 6 points came from. So it was 2 for effort, 2 for accuracy, and 2 for scientific language. And you can even find out more if you click on this little I button. I see effort for 2. That meant that my assignment was on time and more than half done. To get a 3, I need to make sure my assignment is all done. Your teacher will have a different system and they'll explain it to you. But this year for distance learning, if you see in the message in the gray box, open submission or see submission for teacher feedback, make sure you go back to the materials page to open that assignment. Here's how. So I'm going to click on materials now. And then remember that said week 1, lesson 3. So I'm going to click week 1. And then I'm going to click lesson 3. And then I'm going to find that assignment, which was this 8.8 practice. And when I click on that, I see this. So it's just like I was looking for it the first time, but this time I'm going to click submissions up here. And there I see my rubric again, and I think I could click here also like we just did. But I'm going to actually click on this assignment down here on your submission. And when I do that, I see the assignment that I submitted. And I'm going to scroll down, and you see the little yellow post-its from what my teacher wrote. So here's a bunch of blank spots on my worksheet. So when I click on that post-it, I will see that it says missing. Oh, so I'm left some stuff blank. That's where that 2 on the effort came from. When I come back to this Post-it, now make sure when you look at the Post-its, it won't make sense if you don't look at what's next to the Post-it. So it says non-polar here, but when I click on the Post-it, I see that it says polar. The difference is 1, which is in the polar range.
So if I take time to think about this, I can learn from my mistakes.
And now Mr. Baker is going to show you more about Schoology tools for feedback, including this little button up here.
Hi students, sometimes I want to give you video feedback on your assignments on Schoology, but Schoology makes it a little bit tricky to actually see that video feedback. So I wanted to make a video explaining to you how to get to your video feedback.
When you check grades, always read the gray comment boxes carefully. These are messages from your teacher, and they might have instructions for what to do next.
Then look at your grades and see if there's any comments of importance. In this case, 8.8 there has a comment on it, watch my video response. So that's going to be your clue that I have made a video in response to that assignment. So you're going to have to take note of which assignment it is. So in this case, it's 8.8, practice intro to ionic bonding. All right, mental note. Now here's the weird part, is that my video response is hidden in your materials section, okay? So materials is where you're going to go, and then you're going to look for that assignment title. Look through your folders until you figure out which folder it's in. I know that it's in this lesson 3 folder. Sure enough, there it is, 8.8. Once you click on it, you will get this page, and then you will have to click the Submissions tab on this page.
Remember before, to see the Post-it notes, we clicked the PDF, but this time... What do we click this time, Mr. Banker?
You have to go to this 3-dot comment bubble there. And this finally is where you actually can see my video. So here's my comment. It's got a weird name, and that's how Schoology names their videos. But it's got a play button, which is your cue that it's a video response from me. So now you know how to find the video responses. Look for that note on your grades that says, watch my video response, and then start searching for these videos. That's it. I hope that helps.